Very good afternoon, everybody. And indeed, it's a great privilege and an honor to be here amongst all of you and to also be amidst some wonderful speakers that we've had this morning. I'm here to share with you some experiences of my life, what shaped them, and how I've gone through the ups and downs of life. I think one of the most challenging moments for me in my life, or probably the most challenging moment for me in my life, was in 1999 in the summers when I lost my father at the age of 26. Up till then, everything seemed to be flowing very smoothly in life. I had just got married, finished my education, I'd worked for a couple of years, and you were on a particular path. But at that point in time, when your shelter above your head disappears and everything stops with you, and everybody around you looks at you in a very different light, it does take a while to get things together. But a few years before he passed away, he had a dream, a vision, to be able to provide healthcare to every single person in India, to be able to provide world-class healthcare facilities to people in India. And let me take you back in time at the mid-90s. Healthcare delivery in India is not what it was today. It's not what it is in the Western world. It virtually was non-existent. And what was available was completely below expectations or substandards to what any of us would aspire to for ourselves, our family, and our close ones. And it was that dream that we shared. It was that dream that gave me the energy and the drive to make sure that despite a fully fledged job that I had, which was in the family business, we started building out Fortis Healthcare. And when we conceived that idea, when we started it at that point in time, the objective and the purpose was not to make it the biggest healthcare company that it is today, but it was to give back to society. It was to make a difference. It was to make sure that every single Indian had the ability and the opportunity to be able to walk in to a hospital where there would be world-class doctors, which Indians are, world-class infrastructure and facilities, but more importantly, there would be a patient-centric approach with love, with care, and at an Indian price point. And I think that's the purpose, that's the core driver, what has taken us over the last many years. And the journey hasn't been easy, it has been challenging. Because everybody thought we were out of our minds wanting to do something on a sustainable basis, on a scalable basis, in a business like healthcare, which really wasn't a business. But those are the challenges that you have when you do something new, when you do something unconventional. And with that was a different challenge and a different story every single day for the last 1.5 decades. We then wanted to make sure we do it with a strong set of values. We don't compromise our values, we don't give kickbacks, we don't give cuts to doctors, where it was pervasive in the industry at that point in time. And in our first hospital, which we set out in our home state in Punjab, once again, not the most economically viable proposition, but because something we wanted to give back to that community, to our roots, to our state, where we started everything from, where we owe to that state the goodwill of helping us and enabling us to succeed. And when we did that, it did impact our financials because we were not giving kickbacks. The facility wasn't getting occupied versus some of the smaller facilities which had pervasive in terms of kickbacks. But we stuck to our guns, we held on to what we believed was right. And because we did things the correct way, they were more challenging. They tested our patience. People repeatedly questioned us, why are you being stupid? Why are you not doing things as per what the industry practices? But we said, no, We are here to do it right. We are here to make a difference, and we will change that practice. And I think over the last many years, as we've evolved and grown, today it's a very different story because we have that scale and size where we can drive the agenda of that business. But it's not easy. It was never easy at that point in time. Once again, 6-7 years into our business, we had acquired a very large hospital in New Delhi. At that point in time, the most prominent facility. There was a leading doctor there, extremely well-known surgeon. And once again, at that point in time, we had to confront that surgeon basis values. Basis values which were unacceptable to us in terms of the practices that were going on in that system and with that individual. We took a hard call. We asked him to separate from the business. And as a result of that, for the next 1 year, it was a challenging period from a business perspective. But the troops rallied around, and they knew at the end of the day, the decision we took, why we took it, on what basis we took it, and at the end of the day, values were something that were not negotiable. And I think similarly, each of you, as you get into your corporate life, as you look at dealing with life and situations on a daily basis, you will be faced with these challenges. And when you are, it's sometimes easy to succumb to short-term needs and short-term pressures because it's acceptable in parts of life. But what you need to know is once you're given, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, it will be an even easier decision for you to give in. It's tough to stick by your values and by your principles. But the more you do it, the stronger you become, the more confident you become, and the people that you have around you in terms of your teams will be the right set of peoples. One thing I've learned in my life is when I interview somebody for a job, when I work with somebody as a business partner, it's important to be able to identify and assess, do they have the right values? Because capability and knowledge can always be trained, can always be given through experience. But it's the values that you cannot change once it's imbibed and into your system. And therefore, when you walk around, when you join companies, when you build your teams, when you fulfill your dreams and aspirations, do keep in mind, at the end of the day, it's the values that will define you, what you are, and also more importantly, as you work and aspire to build your careers, don't just focus on money. Money is not an end point by itself. It's a means, it's important. But look at the fulfillment, at the purpose, at what gives you happiness. What gives you that feeling of goodness that you can do something sustainable but yet giving back to society? And I can tell you many people who come and work with us at Fortis, at SRL in our pathology business. They do it because there's a sense of purpose and meaning, because we are giving back to people. We are helping people get back to their normal lives, get back to health, get back to doing things what they're enjoying. And the gratitude and the happiness that you have for yourself, the fulfillment that you get by making sure people go back happy and healthy is something that you have to actually experience, because it's very difficult explaining it. And we treat over 20 million people through our doors in India. With a population of 1 billion plus people, we have a long way to go. But I think so far the journey has been exciting, it's been fulfilling, and personally for me, exceedingly rewarding. And I think there's a lot more to do, and many, many years of hard work that still remain ahead of us as we continue to bring India and give India the best of healthcare. Thank you very much. Thank you.
TGELF, leading the change.